Okay, ladies, are you ready? This one is just for you. And guys, if you're watching this video, I warn you, this video is for women because we are going to talk about girl stuff. Specifically the fact that hot flashes are real. I know, not normally a topic you would hear about at a women's ministry video, but it is such an important thing in life that I really believe women need to just accept and come to the realization that it is totally okay to admit that hot flashes and all of the things that go along with PMS and pregnancy and perimenopause and menopause and all of the crazy things that happen to our bodies are real. Just like a sore throat is real, or a broken foot, or other physical ailments, it is totally okay to say, you know what? I am experiencing legitimate symptoms in my body and I need to deal with them just like I would a broken foot or a sore throat or something like that. You see, so often we write it off as it's just hormones. It's just a girl thing. It's just, PMS, ha, ha, ha. But the fact is that so many of us are experiencing actual symptoms. When you're going through a hot flash, you're not imagining it. Your body is actually experiencing a symptom. And when we give ourselves permission to just say, you know what? I am dealing with an actual physical issue. First of all, it sets us free because we can stop pretending like we should be stronger than this or we should be better than this. What? You're better than an ear infection? You're better than a sore throat? You're better than a broken ankle? It's just a physical symptom, and it's totally okay for you to admit that it's happening and for you to treat it accordingly. It also, one thing I've learned in my life is it is very helpful if you will tell the people in your life that are closest to you that you are dealing with a physical symptom. I mean, how many of you have you've been experiencing symptoms and somebody in your family will say to you something like, could it be possible that this is hormones? Well, what is our answer? Of course not. You just think everything is PMS. You don't care how I feel. You don't do this. And then what ends up happening? Of course it was hormones all along. Here's the thing as women. I learned this years ago after years of dealing with just excessive pain and sickness and nausea. The best thing to do is just admit it to yourself and admit it to the people who are closest to you. If you just tell them, hey, I feel really sick today because of this, they'll understand. They will be willing to help you, just like you help them when they have the flu or you help them when they have a cold. We help people who we understand that they're experiencing physical symptoms and they're sick. But when we're denying it and we're like, don't even bring that up, don't act like there's anything wrong with me, well then no, they're not going to experience compassion. They're not going to be willing to help. It's so much better if we're just honest about it and say, you know what? These symptoms are real. Please be patient with me. Please help me. I'm going to do what I can to treat it. And the third point I think is so important for women, as us to understand, is that God understands and He wants us to be there for us through the times when these things are really difficult. One of my favorite stories in the Bible has to do with Jesus when He met the woman who was dealing with the issue of blood. And the thing is that you have to understand in the circumstances, Jesus was on his way to heal a very important man's daughter. And everyone in the crowd was on their way to see if Jesus could pull off a miracle for this super important man's child. I mean, who doesn't want to see a child experience healing? And yet this man, he was so important, so that made it even, more of a big deal. And the whole crowd, and Jesus and his disciples were on his way to do that when he was interrupted by a woman who was dealing with girl problems. But yet her physical issue was just as real to her, and it was causing just as much pain and just as many problems in her life as the daughter who was dying. And how did Jesus respond to her? He responded to her with compassion. He called her daughter. He stopped to talk to her, to lift her up and to let her know that he was as interested in healing and helping her as he was interested in healing the child of the very important man. And from that story, ladies, we can all take the solace in the fact that whatever you're going through, whatever stage of life you're in, where your hormones are causing you some kind of issue, because it seems like they're always part of our lives, they're always fluctuating, and we are always dealing with something. Wherever you are today, I want you to understand that Jesus feels the same way about you as he did with the woman with the issue of blood. He wants to show you compassion. He wants to show you concern. He wants to lead you to the right ways to deal with it physically, but he also wants to give you peace and comfort to deal with the raging emotions that go along with it. You see, God knows that hot flashes and all this other stuff is real. And he wants to be there for you through it, help you to find ways to cope with it, and admit to yourself, you know what, this is real. It's part of being a woman, and I can get through this by admitting it's real. Let's deal with it.